In this tutorial, I'm going to introduce you guys a very interesting tool, Bevel and Emboss, which is a plugin for DaVinci Resolve. And the best thing is that it is also works with free version of DaVinci Resolve. For more details, check out the link in the description. And let's start the tutorial and create a stunning title animation by using this amazing tool. Alright, so let's do some basic setting first. So click on this setting button and set the size of this project 1920 by 1080, and let's go with any frame rate. So in this case, I'm going with 30 frame per second, and set this playback frame rate equal to this timeline frame rate. So set this value 30 and click on save. And now I'm going to create the title animation inside of this Fusion tab. So we have to take a new Fusion composition. So just go to this media pool, right click on that and click on this new Fusion composition, and let's call it Fusion Comp, and duration make it 3 seconds long, which is good enough for one text. And click on create and just drag this Fusion Comp on this timeline just like that, and then go to your Fusion page. And here we have media out, so just drag this media out to the side for now, and let's start by creating a background. So click on this background button and just drag this background to the viewer, and now I'm going to create a multicolor background. So just go to this inspector window and select this type 4 corner and go to this top left corner and pick a nice blue color and set this value something around 0.9, hit enter. All right, and just go to this bottom right corner, and for this one I'm gonna pick this red color and set this red color value 0.6, hit enter. All right, and as you can see, it's looking like this. And now let's create a text. So click on this T button and add a text node. Just drag this text to the viewer and type anything that you want. And select your favorite font style. So in this case, I'm using Architect Bold font style. And of course, you can choose any different font style that you want. And now set the size of this text just like that, and set this round figure 0.13. And now I want to convert this flat 2D text into a metallic kind of a 3D text. So for that we need a Bevel and Emboss node. So hit Ctrl plus a space bar for search box and search for Bevel. As you can see, we don't have any Bevel and Emboss node. So what we have to do? So we have to use our third-party Bevel and Emboss node, which is an amazing plugin for DaVinci Resolve. So just go to the link in the description and download that node. And once you have downloaded, just go to your folder and you will get this 3 node. The first one is main Bevel and Emboss node, and the second one is reflection map and this texture. So just drag this Bevel and Emboss node on this flow window just like that, and just drag this reflection map also and the texture. All right, and this is our Bevel and Emboss node. So hold this pointer on this point, and as you can see, this is our input point. So connect this point with this text, because I'm going to use this text as an input, and place this pointer on this point, and as you can see, this is for reflection map. So connect this point with this reflection map, and now this one for texture. So just connect this with this node just like that. And after that, right click on this flow window and go to this arrange tool and turn on this grid snapping and just arrange it like this. And now just drag this Bevel and Emboss node to the viewer, and as you can see, our 2D text is now looking like this. And now I'm gonna merge this text with the background. So I'm gonna use this output as a foreground. So connect this foreground with this background and we get this new merge, and just drag this merge to the viewer. And now let's do some adjustment with this bevel and emboss node. So select this one and go to this inspector window, and you will get these parameters. So I'm gonna set this specularity something around 0.5, hit enter, and let's down this reflection value, and I'm gonna set this value something around 0.4, hit enter, and as you can see, it's looking much more better. And now let's change this filter to box, and it's looking much more better, as you can see. All right, and now we have a 3D kind of a text, but actually this is a 2D text. So I'm gonna animate this text. So we need a transform node to animate this text. So hit Control plus a spacebar for search box and search for transform. So this is our transform node. Add this one, hold shift and attach this transform after this bevel and emboss node, and select this transform and just go to this inspector window. And as you can see, we have only X and Y axis, but we don't have Z axis. But I want to animate this in G space. So what we have to do, we have to use a different transform node. So right click on this and go to add tool, go to transform, and as you can see, there is a node called DVE, which is a 2D transform node. But in this one we will get this Z move parameter. So hold shift and attach this DVE after this bevel and emboss node, and select this DVE and go to the end of this animation, and let's animate this Z value. So I'm gonna set this value something around 1.2, hit enter, and create a keyframe on end of this animation. So click on this button and create a keyframe on Z move parameter, and go to very beginning of this animation and just set this Z move value 0, and we get this kind of animation, as you can see. But right now we have a linear animation. So go to spline window, hit F4 to full screen, and check this DVE and click on fit button and select these two keyframes, hit S to smooth, and go to very beginning of this animation at frame number 0, and hold this handle and create a nice curve just like that, and go to on 15 frame, which is equal to half a second, and hold this point also and just set it like this and create a nice smooth curve, as you can see, and close this spline window. And now we have a smooth animation. And now let's do one more thing. Just drag it like this, and now I want to create a blur or camera focus kind of a effect on this text. So for that I'm gonna use a defocus node. So hit Control plus a spacebar for search box and search for defocus. Select this defocus, hit add button, and hold shift on the keyboard and attach this defocus after this DVE, and go to around frame number 30, which is equal to 1 second, and set this defocus size to 0, and let's animate this defocus size. So right click on this defocus size and click on animate, or you can also click on this timer button and go to very beginning of this animation and set this defocus value something around 10, and we get camera blur kind of a effect on this text. Now I'm gonna add some more details on it. So for that I'm gonna use a lens flare file. So select this lens flare, go to the link in the description and download this lens flare file, and just drag it on this flow window and hit F2 on the keyboard to rename, and let's call it flare. Hit enter. And now I'm going to use this flare as a foreground and this output as a background. So connect this foreground with the background and we get this new merge. So just drag this merge to the viewer and select this merge and let's scale it up and fit this lens flare. Click on fit button and set the size just like that. And now select this merge and change this apply mode normal to screen. All right, and now let's add one more thing. So just go to your folder and I'm going to use this particle which I have given a link in the description. So go to the link and download this particle file if you want, and just drag this particle on this flow window and drag it over here. Hit F2 on the keyboard to rename and let's call it particles. Hit OK, and now connect this foreground with the background and just drag this merge 3 to the viewer. And now I want to make this black background transparent, so select this merge and go to this inspector window and change this apply mode normal to screen, and we will get something like this. And after that just drag this media out node with this main output and go to your edit tab, and here I'm going to create a cinematic aspect ratio. So just go to timeline, go to output blanking and click on this value 2.35. All right, and it's almost done. So if you want to create multiple text, then hit Ctrl C to copy, set the CTI at the end of this and hit Ctrl V to paste, and go to on second one and click on this Fusion tab and just select this text node and change this text just like that, and go to your edit tab and let's have a look. Alright, so it's looking awesome, and that's all for this tutorial. I hope you like it. If you like it, then hit the subscribe button and click on the bell icon to get notified when I will upload my new video, and I will see you in next tutorial. Till then, bye bye.